company. A serial entrepreneur, before Nplug, she founded Nanoli Bioscience, which helps enable vaccines to survive without refrigeration. Abu Kadar is a co-founder of Glealab, an artificial intelligence company utilizing artificial intelligence to build data-driven healthcare solutions. Abu was also featured at Google I/O, was a speaker at TEDx Teen in London, and is a Posey Scholar at Cornell University.
Good morning, everyone. Well, good afternoon. I've got two hidden heroes here, and our goal is to not make them be hidden anymore. So I want to introduce them. They're going to talk a little bit about why they're on stage, why they were selected to be here, and then we're going to get into some stories. And the hope is that you'll get enough things you learn about them that you'll want to go speak to them after this. So why don't we start with why were you chosen to be up here in the first place? Nancy.
Cool. I think they ran out of people. So my background, I grew up in rural China where there was no running water. So when I got to immigrate to the US, the first thing that I was able to do was actually piano. So that's how I paid for college, was actually from piano scholarships, because I had to fulfill my one Asian stereotype of playing piano. And then when I was in college, I just started building a lot of different companies and apps. A lot of them didn't work out, but my senior year, I started Nanoli Bioscience, and that was very accidental. And my goal was I wanted to build a company that was going to be really impactful. So we decided, okay, let's eliminate refrigeration for vaccines. So we created a polymer to do that. And then we received VC funding, but I was like, I want to start another company too in software. And so I saw that there was going to be more and more digital displays everywhere. And I said, I'm going to create the best software to control all of these displays. And now we are the leading open software for digital displays.
So yeah, Nancy runs two companies right now. And she's got an Emmy for a show on Amazon. And she's a concert pianist. We're going to come back to a lot of those stories. Abu, what about you?
I think they also ran out of people to invite, so they invited me. I think a lot of what Nancy said aligns with a lot of what I also sort of had to go through. My parents grew up in Afghanistan. I was born there, immigrated to the U.S., live in Chicago, raised there. And in my sophomore year of high school, I decided that I think misdiagnosis in general, or lack of healthcare in developing countries, I think that's a really big problem, and a problem that we can use technology to solve. And specifically, I think artificial intelligence was poised right at that time. This was about 3 years ago. I think it was poised perfectly to take advantage of the lack of healthcare, the lack of an infrastructure in developing countries to develop physicians that were plentiful and able to diagnose cancer accurately. So sophomore year, I co-founded Glealab, which is an artificial intelligence medical analytics company that uses artificial intelligence to diagnose cancer from images. And so we do it faster, we do it better, we do it more accurately, and we do it cheaper for people all around the world. And so our technology as of right now ranks to about 98% accuracy overall. And it's much cheaper to do, as well as doesn't require as much manpower. And yeah, at the same time, the goal was to build something impactful, to use technology to try to help people.
And how old were you?
I was 16 at the time.
16 and you're solving cancer.
I was 15, yep.
Great, so we got these two.
Thank you.
So this is partly why you should connect with them, but let's get to, it's a little intimidating, right? Got these two guys who at a very young age have accomplished so much, and we were talking in the back and saying, well, where have you failed? And how did you learn? And Nancy, tell us what the app that you created.
So there's a joke where they say, you're never an entrepreneur until you build your first failed dating app. And so that's exactly what I did in college. I created this app where male video gamers would pay money to play with female video gamers. And it ran for a little bit, but then I met my co-founder for the biotech company, and I was like, wait, we could save lives with the biotech company, so I should probably do that instead.
And Abu, you had a different public life before you got into tech.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us.
Yeah, so before I got into healthcare and all of this, I actually modeled for a very long time as a kid.
You're a model.
Yeah, so I modeled for a good enough portion and realized how much I didn't like it. And I guess I found my place in tech trying to help people, so
we've got a very short time over here, so I'm going to go through some, we're going to try something a little fun and different. We're going to go through popcorn questions. So I'm going to throw out a word or phrase. They get to say one word. Okay, let's start. We go Nancy, then we go Abu, right? Favorite food?
Sushi.
Pasta.
Favorite city?
Right now, Riyadh.
She knows how to get you.
Chicago. Can't hate on Chicago.
Okay. Favorite piece or form of technology?
Cell phone.
Yeah, my iPhone. Love that
Okay.
thing.
I'm going to go different. Let's see. Who's a personal idol?
I really respect Bill Gates.
Okay.
Elon Musk. Man's incredible.
Okay. A favorite quote, something you live by?
You are the average of 5 people that you spend the most time with.
I like that. Abu, can you top that?
Comparison is a thief of joy. Eleanor Roosevelt.
Comparison is a thief of joy. Okay. Let's go to some bigger things and tell me when I talk about what's the first word that comes to mind. Global warming.
Solution.
Real.
Real. Okay. Inequality.
Real.
Solution.
Millennials.
Important.
Old school.
Millennials, old school. Okay. Gen X.
Old school.
Important.
Okay. See, what else should we get to before we finish this? What would you like the audience, particularly the youth in the audience, to take away from this? If there's one piece of advice you could give, what would it be?
I think everything about creation comes with building things with people. So the most important thing is the relationships you have with people. And you never know when an opportunity is going to start because of a relationship you built. So I'll give 2 quick examples about it. So I did a lot of volunteer work when I was in high school, and I kept in touch with this woman named Maya Nista who started this nonprofit. And then after college, I moved to Los Angeles, and she said, hey, I remember that you did a lot of really great stuff, in community service when you were in high school and college. Do you want to be on Lady Gaga's youth advisory board for her foundation? And this is somebody that I had met back in high school. And so, of course, I was like, yes, let's do that. And then another one is, several years ago, I had met somebody who was one of the largest owners of Bitcoins. And he gave me some Bitcoins. And I was like, okay, great. And then later, earlier this year, then I met some other folks that were really into Bitcoin. And I started playing around with it, then started creating this program that trades cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. And then that has actually financially been one of the most successful things. And so it was all accidental, people that I've met years ago. So people are the most important things in your life.
Great. Abu, any final thoughts?
I think, sort of to add on to that, I mean, part of creation means that you have some sort of personal connection with whatever it is that you're creating. And I think that most people forget is that creation comes out of building something that you truly have some sort of passion for, that you really think is going to do something, either for yourself, for your family, for the greater good, whatever it is, as long as you have that connection and as long as you understand the impact that whatever it is that you're building can bring to whoever you're aiming for, that I think is truly the key to keeping you, focused and to making sure that whatever it is that you end up building is successful. Understanding that there is always that human connection between yourself and the problem, and that if we didn't have that human connection, we'd all be AI, right? Really, that's truly what it comes down to. So just understand your problem and understand who you are and what that problem does for you and what your solution does for the world. And I think that really stems and creates successful solutions that can hopefully further help change the world.
So 10 minutes on stage is not enough to get to know these two heroes, but you should. Hopefully this intrigued you enough to find them afterwards over the next 2 days and speak to them. How can they get in touch? How can anyone find you if they don't find you today?
Yeah, you can reach me basically Nancy at inplug.com. You can come chat with me afterwards. I'm happy to talk about anything from biotech to how to make money with Bitcoins. So reach me at Nancy at inplug.com.
Abu?
Yeah, same thing. You feel free to email me at abu@glialab.com. If you find me wandering, I'm probably lost, so feel free to come up to me and talk to me, because I truly am lost. Or Instagram, abu.kader.
Oh yeah, Instagram, Nancy_Lou.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I'll talk about anything with you guys, because there's a lot of interesting conversations happening. So.
Well, thank you both. Thank you, everyone. Have a good rest of the day.